There are many benefits and a few limitations that clinicians should be aware of when they are using GAS in their practice. One of the major benefits noted by researchers is that GAS allows researchers and clinicians to document change over time. Sometimes clinicians rely on percentage of objectives attained, but this doesn't account for partially achieved goals or overachieved goals. GAS can account for these partially and overachieved goals. Also, many times in documenting if goals have been met, you can only say if a goal is met or is not met. Inherently within GAS, when describing how well a goal is met, the number provides to what extent, which could help this problem in documentation. Another benefit of using GAS would be the versatility of populations that can be used. As was noted earlier in this course, there is a large range of populations that can be used with GAS. Geriatric, children, brain injury, and mental health, just to name a few. As Carol Conway mentioned earlier, GAS objectives and IEP goals work nicely together. So GAS seems like a good partnership in the schools. Now Carol Conway will talk a little bit about what she feels may be advantages and challenges to using GAS scaling. The first clip focuses on how goal attainment scaling goals encourage collaboration, which fit nicely with her school practice.
Another powerful mechanism for goal attainment scaling is that it can be used for collaborative goals. And in the schools, we often write collaborative goals with teachers. And so not only am I collecting data, the teacher's collecting data on the same goals, and we can then have a mechanism where we're collecting it in the same meaningful way that is research and evidence-based. The other thing I found very interesting about it is that the IEP goal and the way goal attainment scaling objectives are supposed to be written are very similar. They need to be relevant, understandable, measurable, behavioral, attainable, and within a time framework. So that fits into exactly what an IEP goal is. You are only to measure one variable, which is what I want to do in an IEP goal, and it has to be across time, and it needs to be functional. So they really meshed beautifully together.
Now she will speak on how goal attainment scaling is good at detecting small amounts of change.
The goal attainment scale also is very sensitive to small changes, and I'm in charge of writing what those small changes are. So it allows me to really see those changes and then have a way to numerically put a value to them.
Now Carol will talk a little about utilizing GAS with other standardized measures.
Oftentimes, the testing that we might start out in school is with standardized testing, but standardized tests don't measure the activities that a student will do in school. So a child can actually score very poorly on a standardized test, but be functioning fine in a school. Or a child can score average on a standardized test and still not be able to meet the demands of the school. So we cannot really use standardized testing as our only mechanism for qualifying a child at school and also for measuring change. So the goal attainment scale really allows for us to measure change in small increments in meaningful activities, which is what we are doing in school as occupational therapists.
Finally, we asked Carol if she can note any challenges using GAS faced with her experience with GAS.
I think one of the things that's most challenging me about writing IEP goals, as well as goal attainment scale objectives, is predicting the future or predicting the level of outcome that you want within that time. And I think some of that comes with experience, but it's something that is useful for both IEP writing and for using the scale. Oftentimes when I'm doing progress notes, the child has made progress, but I haven't written a goal that shows that they've made progress. And so my hope with goal attainment scale is that because it can show small amounts of progress and it gives me a numerical outcome or a value, that I will be able to show progress better in my progress notes.
Now we'll take a look at the reliability and validity of GAS.
Specifically,
on the
Stolle
reliability
in
and validity of
1999
GAS.
conducted a study in a
Some
geriatric
researchers
rehab
have criticized GAS for
The
its
research team
subjectivity, but
administered
reliability
illicit
and
assessments to
validity
173
studies have been
individuals
conducted.
upon admission to the facility.
Specifically, Stolle
When the
in
individuals were
1999
discharged,
conducted a
the
study
same
in a
assessments were
geriatric
administered.
rehab unit.
The mean age
The
of
research team
participants was
administered a
81
list
years
of
old, and
assessments
77%
to
were female.
173
The
individuals
average length
upon
of
admission to
stay
the
for the
facility
participants
and
was
administered
33
those
days.
same assessments
The standardized
upon
assessments
discharge.
used were the Barthel
The
Index,
mean age
the
of
older
participants
Americans,
was 81
resources,
years old,
and
and
services
77% were
instrumental
female.
activities of
The average
daily
length
living
of stay
scale,
for the participants
full
was
steam
33
mini
days.
mental state examination,
The standardized assessments
Nottingham Health
used were the
Profile,
Barthel Index,
global clinical
the older
assessment,
Americans,
and of
resources,
course, the goal
and
attainment
services,
scale.
instrumental activities of daily living scale.
After data
Full
was
steam
collected
mini
and
mental state
analyzed,
examination,
results were reported.
Nottingham Health
Inter-rater
Profile,
reliability was found to be
global
high
clinical
at
assessment,
0.93.
and of course,
The
the goal
validity
attainment
scores were
scale.
mixed. GAS scores at discharge strongly correlated with some
After data was
standardized
collected
measures.
and analyzed,
Our
results were
greater
reported.
than or equal to
Inter-rater reliability was found to
0.50.
be high.
These
At
assessments
0.93.
that strongly correlated were the
The
global
validity
clinical
scores were
assessment,
mixed.
Barthel
GAS
Index,
scores at
and
discharge strongly
OARS
correlated with some
IADL
standardized measures.
scale.
Strongly correlated
GAS scores
with
were less correlated
are
with
greater
other
than or
assessments.
equal to
are
0.5.
greater than or equal to 0.31.
These assessments that strongly correlated
These assessments
were the global
were the
clinical
self-related
assessment,
health,
Barthel Index, and
MMSE,
OARS
and
IADL
NHP.
scale. GAS
Responsiveness
scores were
was
less
found to be
correlated
very
with
good
the
with
other
GAS.
assessments.
Are
Goal
greater
attainment
than or
scaling
equal to
was the most
0.31.
responsive of all the assessments.
These assessments
It is very responsive
that
to
were less
small
correlated
amounts of change.
were self-related
Other
health,
assessments did not pick up on the
MMSE,
small
and
improvements in the
NHP.
individual,
like
like
goal attainment
responsiveness
scaling
was
did.
found to be very good with GAS.
In conclusion, the authors
GAS
state
was the
that
most
goal attainment
responsive of
scaling
all
is
the
a reliable,
assessments.
valid,
It is very
and
responsive
responsive
to small
outcome
amounts
measure
of change.
to use in the
Other
geriatric
assessments
population.
did not pick up on small improvements in the individual. In conclusion, the authors state
There
that
is a
GAS
variety
is
of opinions
reliable,
about the
valid,
reliability
and
and
a
validity of goal
responsible,
attainment
responsive
scaling.
outcome measure in the
Schlosser
geriatric
suggests that
population.
validity and reliability can be better established on a case-by-case basis.
There are a variety of opinions
Since goals
about the
are
reliability and
individualized, he
validity of
suggests
GAS.
that biases can occur,
Schlosser
and
suggests
thus
that
rating
validity
has
and
possibility
reliability
of
can
being
better be
subjective.
established on a case-by-case
Since there is
basis.
not much evidence
Since
regarding
goals are
GAS and its
individualized, he
reliability and
suggests
validity,
that
this is
biases
something that
can
needs
occur,
more
and
research.
thus
Rating
Since
has
goals
the
are very
possibility of being
individualized, the researchers have
subjective.
noted that establishing
Since there is not
validity
much
and
evidence
reliability
regarding
with
GAS and its
can be
reliability and
difficult.
validity,
But
this
as we
is something
can
that
see from
needs
the
more
Stolle
research.
article,
Since goals
there
are
has
very
been good
individualized,
validity,
reliability, and
researchers have noted that
responsiveness
establishing validity and reliability can
reported.
be difficult.
In
conclusion,
conclusion,
we can see
there are advantages
and
disadvantages
to
using
goal
attainment
scaling.
scaling.
Yes,
these
goals
goals
take time to make,
goals are
but
scaled,
once goals are
evaluating
scaled,
is easy.
evaluating
Evaluating
is
is
done.
easy.
When
All the
scaling
work is done
when
scaling
goals.
goals.
So you will spend less time evaluating
have
goals
met
are met or not, and more
Using
time
your
clinical judgment and practice will help you better predict the
Using your
outcome of your
clinical judgment and
clients.
practice will help you
Finally,
better predict
even though
the
it's hard
outcome
to
of your
estimate
can be seen
expected
from the
levels of
validity and
outcome,
reliability
even though it's
of
hard to
GAS
estimate
using
GAS
GAS
levels
will
of
be
outcome, the better they will
reliable,
get.
more
And
practice
valid
a
measure
therapist
to
gets
use with
using
clients.
GAS goals,
Still more
as
research
better they will
can be
get
validity and
conducted in
reliability
this
study
area.
by
As
Stolle.
we conceive
GAS
the validity
can
and
be a reliable
reliability
and valid
study
measures
from
to use
Stolle.
with clients.
GAS can be reliable
Although still more
and
research
valid
should be conducted
when
in
used with
reliability and
clients.
validity of this measure.